Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about my Kindle, sharing my experience, my full in-depth review on getting the Kindle. Is it worth it? Would I recommend it? All that stuff. So when I was interested in purchasing a Kindle, I actually went onto YouTube and searched, which Kindle device should I get? Is it worth it? All that stuff. So I just wanted to come on here and share my personal experience after purchasing a Kindle. I've had it for a little over 2 months now, and I have honestly raved about this device to so many people in my life. Ever since I got it, I feel like I have just read so much more, and there's actually like a lot of different reasons why I really love it. But I'm gonna start with kind of the first thing, which was, which Kindle should you get? This is the 2022 Paperwhite edition Kindle, and this is the one that was actually the most recommended to me when I just asked y'all on Instagram. I was like, which Kindle should I get? Should I get a Kindle? I ended up doing like my research through Instagram and through YouTube. And so everyone suggested for me to get the 2022 Paperwhite edition, and I have been loving it so much. I know they have a different version that's a little bit more expensive that has like a bar on the side with buttons and all of that. I haven't found a need for any of that stuff. So I think this is the perfect edition of the Kindle. The reason I really wanted this one over the like standard cheaper model is that this one is actually waterproof, which came in handy when my husband and I went on a little vacation. I got to read by the pool and read in the hot tub. And so I really like having that, and also just having the safety of knowing that if for some reason I like spill my coffee on it, or I am reading outside and it starts raining, or for some random reason that water gets on it, I just love knowing that it is waterproof, it is protected in that sense. So this is my Kindle, and right now I actually have not that many books on it because I have been removing them as I've read them. But what is really great about this Kindle is the fact that you can have tons of books loaded onto here. So I got the 8 GB Kindle, which I think is plenty of room. I think one book is like 4 to 6 megabytes, so you can put a ton of stuff on here. It really doesn't take up that much space. I have heard though that if you for some reason download like comics or like picture books or like magazines or stuff like that, things with graphics, that can take up some more space. But I have all 7 Harry Potter books downloaded onto my Kindle, and I've basically used up no space. So those are the books that I'm currently working through right now. I have never been a fiction reader and really much of a reader at all. I was reading a little bit before I got my Kindle, and I decided to get the Kindle because I thought that that would actually encourage me to read more, and it really has. But what I love about it is that I can have multiple books on one device. So whenever I am traveling, or if I want to like throw it in my purse and like go read at like a coffee shop or something like that, I don't have to pick and choose, which books do I take on vacation. I can have them all right here in one very small compact device, and that's what I really love about it, is how tiny it is and compact. Even with the case on it, I can fit it in most of my handbags, and that is a huge plus to me. It also is super lightweight when you're traveling, so it doesn't add a ton of, extra weight to your bags. And like I said, you can have tons of books downloaded at the same time, so you're really saving so much space. It's kind of a no-brainer for why to get the Kindle. One thing that I wasn't sure about was not having physical pages. I feel like that's everybody's whole thing when they're like, I don't know if I want to get a Kindle because I really like the physical pages. I will say like nothing will replace that feeling, but I think the Kindle has so many benefits to where I don't even like miss the physical pages because there's so many other things that I love about it. One of which is the Libby app. I think there's a few apps that you can sync up with your library card, and all you have to do is get the app on your phone. I have the app Libby, which I'll link down below, and you can actually get that app and read the books with the Kindle without actually having a Kindle. So you can go ahead and just download that app and rent out library books and just have them on your phone. Having the Libby app, I've actually found is way nicer because you have a huge selection of books actually at your library. So with the Libby app, I have downloaded 4 or 5 books and like read through them all through the Libby app without spending any additional money on books, which I think is the biggest plus If you read like 14 books on your Kindle, that's basically paying for the Kindle device. And I think that that is already just like a no-brainer. So I have been really enjoying the fact that I can download really cheesy fiction books and not have to like own them, but I can rent them from the library, download them immediately onto my Kindle. And the Libby app is incredible because it works like the library. So if a book isn't available, you can sign up for notifications, get on wait list, and get the book as soon as it becomes available. So you have so many options for renting out books through your library, and it's very easy. You just get a library card and hook it up to the Libby app. One thing that really came in handy was I was reading through The Summer I Turned Pretty series, which don't judge my book choices. This is about the Kindle, not about my book choices. Was I finished the second book and it ended on like the biggest cliffhanger. Instead of needing to go to the library the next day or even like purchasing the book on Amazon and getting it shipped in like 2 days, I was able to go into my Libby app and immediately download the third book and like start it right after I finished the second one. So that's actually a perfect example of why the Kindle is amazing and why the Libby app is amazing, is that you can go from one book right into the next if you need to or if you want to. So that was one moment where I was like raving to my husband. I was like, I just finished this book. It ended on the biggest cliffhanger and I can get the third book right now. Like that is definitely a huge advantage of the Kindle itself. One thing is that not all books are going to be available all at once. So if it's a really popular book, kind of like the library, you will have to rent it out and there's only a certain amount of copies. So depending on the book that you're reading, you might have to wait in line. There was one book that I was really interested in that I waited for like 8 or 9 days for. But what's really great about the Libby app is that you can also download audiobooks. So if you like to listen to books in your car, you can do it that way as well. So I have one book that I'm reading through, and then on my drive to Pilates, I'm listening to the audiobook version of it. And that's a really great way to really utilize that app. So into the nitty gritty of like why the Kindle device is amazing, besides being able to sync up with the Libby app and Kindle Unlimited, I think that this device has made me like to read more because of convenience mostly. So this is basically your home screen, and to get into the book you just click on the series that you're reading. If it's a full series or if it's just a regular book, you can click on the book. I'm on book 3 of Harry Potter. It tells you what percentage of the book you've read. So I've read 12% of book number 3. And one thing that I have really enjoyed about this Kindle is that during the day you don't have to have any light on. So this is what it looks like right now. No backlight, nothing like that. One thing that's really nice about it is that you can turn it into dark mode if it's nighttime. So if you really want to have a very low profile, low-key read at night with like your spouse next to you, you can turn it onto dark mode, turn the backlight up to like level 5, and it is so subtle. You won't be bothering anybody, your eyes won't hurt. It's just a really convenient way to read, and I found myself picking up my book more because I could turn it on dark mode and read in the dark, which was just, it was amazing for me because I always find that I have time to read at night for the most part. So that's a really big advantage of the Kindle. Another thing is that you can make the font size like as big as you want, and I rave about this to my husband all the time because when I go to bed, I don't really like to wear my glasses. I don't know, I wear contacts during the day. I don't love to wear my glasses at night, but I used to read my books at night, and I'd have my lamp on, but my lamp like wasn't bright enough and like right on my pages, and I was still like kind of struggling to see the font, and my glasses at that point were like kind of making my eyes hurt. So being able to increase the font size on the Kindle is an actual game changer. So you can just zoom in like this and you can make the font like as big as you need, like to the point where you should be concerned at how large the font is. I probably at night read with the font at like a level 8 or 9, which is really large. However, I find my eyes not nearly as strained, not nearly as tired, especially at night when I can have that low front light on. It's on dark mode, the font is big. I just have a way easier time reading. So that has been a really big convenience for me. And then also it has a warm light. So that's one thing about this specific model of Kindle, is that it has the warm light built into it, which is really cool. So at night, if you do need to use the front light, you can turn the warm light on, and it's just way softer and easier on your eyes. So I just have found my eyes feel a lot better after reading my Kindle versus trying to like strain and read my books at night. So that's been one thing that I just love about it. It can go all the way up to 24 brightness, which is kind of hard to tell here on the screen, but that is incredibly bright. You will literally never need it this bright, because during the day, it's not like the phone where you need your backlight up really, really bright when you're outside, like on your cell phone. This, you turn the light all the way off, like this is all the way off, and you actually see a lot better like this. So I have found that you never really need it that bright. One thing that's really cool about the Kindle too is that you can customize what your page looks like. So you can customize, like I said, the font size. You can also customize if you want the clock here up at the top through your settings. And then you also can switch between minutes left in chapter, and then minutes left in book, and then I don't know what lock is, honestly. I haven't looked into that, and you can turn it off too. So you can see what page you're on, and I feel like I really like to keep it on minutes left in chapter, because I've found myself actually finishing chapters more and reading more when I know how much is left in a chapter. Because I feel like when I was reading physical books, I would like flip like how many pages are left in my chapter and be like, do I have time to finish this? I do need to do something in like 20 minutes. Is this going to take me longer than that? Should I just stop now and put the book down? Whereas like when you have an exact time of how much longer your chapter is going to be, I feel like mentally I'm like, oh, I only have 8 minutes left in my chapter. I'll just finish that right now. And that actually gets me reading more, because I feel more motivated to like get through the chapter. So for me personally, I have read so much more just knowing how long each chapter will take. And the Kindle will learn your reading time as well. So as you get like 3 or 4 pages into a book, it will kind of pick up on how quickly you're reading, and it will tell you how many minutes are left in your chapter through your reading speed, which is really, really cool. Over here in the right-hand corner, you have the percentage of how far in the book you are. So right now I'm 13% in my book, and then the time you can also turn off. However, I really like that on, because say you're like wrapped up in a book, you're like, okay, I've got 17 minutes left in my chapter, and then you're like, what time is it? Instead of grabbing your phone and getting distracted and being pulled out of your book, you can have your time up here at the top, which is really, really nice. There's also tons of different settings throughout your Kindle. You can bookmark pages that you really love. You can search the book. You also have this up here where you can turn off the touch screen so that you're not accidentally clicking things as you're going. So once you get all your settings where you want them, you can really settle in and read your book, and then you can just swipe through pages by disabling the touch screen, which is a feature that I totally stumbled upon, and I actually use it all the time now. You can do notes throughout the book. There's one thing that's really cool about this for books that are maybe a little bit more advanced. You can on the spot pull up the dictionary on a word. So you just click on a word like this, hold it down, and the dictionary will pop up with the pronunciation and then also the definition of the word that you're looking at. So that was always one thing I found myself with books being like trying to read through a sentence and be like, I don't know what one of these words mean, but I would just keep going. Whereas now I can actually stop, look up that word, and comprehend the sentence better. So that's been one thing that has, again, made me enjoy reading more, is that if I come across a word I don't know, I can look it up on the spot, which is really cool. One thing that I was wondering about when I was thinking about purchasing a Kindle was battery life. And I remember looking up on Google, like, how long does the battery last in a Kindle? And it said 2 weeks, which I was like, dang, that's a long time. Y'all, I got this in August, and it is currently, while I'm filming this, November 8th, and I still have 21% battery life. And I have read 5 books. I've read 5 books on this Kindle, and I still have 21% of battery. And I think that's mostly because I keep it on airplane mode. You only need to take it off of airplane mode when you are downloading a book from Libby. But besides that, you don't need to be connected to the internet or a hotspot ever. So you can be reading on a plane as long as you have your books downloaded, you're good to go. All your books will stay on there too if you keep it on airplane mode after your loan expires. So if you have a library book and you have it for 14 days, say you don't finish it, if you keep it on airplane mode, it will stay on your device, which is something that is really, really cool. So you can rent books from Libby for 14 or 21 days, and as long as you have it on airplane mode and you don't accidentally switch it off of that for any reason, the book will stay on your device, and I think that is a really cool feature as well. Last thing about the Kindle that I really love is that you can read samples of books, which is really great if you're wondering, is this a book that I would enjoy? Do I really want to get into this? Instead of having to buy a book or, go to the library and rent a book and take it home, you can just download a sample right onto your Kindle, or you can read the sample on your phone before you even put it on your device. So there's so many advantages to the Kindle that, again, I feel like just kind of outweigh the fact of having just like a physical book to turn the pages of. I actually really love this device too, because if you make the font bigger, you can just be flipping the pages more and you just feel like you're reading so much faster. I have been really enjoying downloading fiction books and just trying out different genres that I wouldn't normally reach for or purchase. And I think it's given me a lot more freedom in getting to try different genres and different books. So this is something that I have recommended to so many of my friends at this point. I have been basically spreading the propaganda of the Kindle ever since I got it, because I just feel like it is something that I've really, really enjoyed, and I'm so glad I got it. I really wish I would have gotten it sooner, honestly, because these have been out forever, and I've always been like, why do people read Kindles when like you can get a book? I think I prefer the Kindle. I'm a Kindle girl now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review and kind of in-depth look at the Kindle. If this is something that you are just even remotely interested in getting, I would highly recommend it. I don't think you will regret it. Like I said, you only have to read like 10 to 14 books for it to kind of pay for itself, which I think is really cool. But if you like this video, you found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'll have it linked down below in the description box along with my case. There's tons of cases for these, which is also really fun because you can kind of make it more personal. Let me know if you end up trying out a Kindle, and if you're new here and you want to stick around for some more videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you back on my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one really, really soon. Bye guys.